Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So we have to talk about a burning issue, which isn't a bad thing. It's not like I'm telling you, oh my god guys, something is wrong. It's not one of those videos. It's something that they need to do something about. They need to fix. They need to improve and make better, because it is becoming an absolute pain in my ass, and the pain in the ass of quite a lot of players playing the game. What am I talking about? Well, funnily enough, this man here is the perfect person to segue into talking about this. It is trial mode, okay? So, I've gone over this before. Trial mode is not a linear mode, right? We'll just really quickly, I'll just cover off again what makes it not a linear mode in this video, right? So we'll go in here, right? I'm not going to do the trial, but if we look here, let's just say, for example, for this team, I was going to do Viper, I was going to do Summer Yang, and I don't even know, let's just say I was going to do you, right? So let's just say this is the team I was going to do. You'll see that I've got my score up top, my power level, and the team's power level, and you guys will maybe watch a video and be like, oh crap, why has Hayzink got more power than us? The reason is these things here mainly, but not only them, also your bond levels, which if you go to your fighting soul, not your fighting soul, but can't remember, what's it called again, your fighting heart. If you go to your fighting heart, depending on how much investment you've got into like power fighters, balance fighters, stuff like that, that's going to actually dictate how strong the trial characters are, right? Which means not everyone is going to have the same experience, right? Now, the first change that I personally feel that they need to make is they have to make this a linear mode, right? Everyone gets the same experience, right? It's a trial. How Ken performs for me in the trial should be the same as how he performs for you and anyone else. It doesn't matter if you're a top level crazy ass whale or someone who's never spent a penny in the game in your life that only started playing it 2 weeks ago. The experience in the trial should be the same, right? That is something that they really should fundamentally change. They should just make it a flat level for absolutely everyone, because as it stands just now, some people can easily beat these stages, whereas other people can't even scratch the surface of these stages with how they actually are, right? So straight off the bat, in my opinion, that is not necessarily a good thing to have in the game, right? May as well do it. I'll probably lose this here because this is a really, I don't think this is the best team comp to use here. So yes, they have to change that, because again, as it stands just now, people are really struggling at times to get through this mode, sometimes more than others, which is kind of what is going to segue into my next point. But they need to realise that there is not a lot of significant avenues within this game for people to earn certain rewards, and one of the avenues that people rely on to earn rewards is these trials. And if you're making these trials unbelievably difficult for people, then it means you are essentially gating that material, those items from people, and they are unable to actually get them out of this mode, right? So by making it a level playing field where everyone is receiving the exact same experience, that is going to make the trials better for people, right? That's point number one. Point number two, and depending on your perspective of this, you might not see it as a problem, because in some ways you might see it as a good thing, but it's really not, right? These trials are not built for every unit, right? You have units who look fantastic in these trials. Units like Athlete Chun-Li, units like, if he had one, Bison would look fantastic in a trial like this. Units like Gouken can look really good in a trial like this. Sagat can look fantastic in a trial like this. The reason being, those units work very well against multi-unit teams, right? So the type of teams that you would experience in PvP, the type of teams that you would experience in chapters, right? That's what those units are for. So they work very well in these trials. And if you were to go and look at my list of videos and just simply type in trial realm, you'll see every single video I've done on a trial realm, and you can actually look at that list and you can spot what units are clearly for stages versus what ones are bosses or some kind of other niche. Because the ones that are for stages, they will have quite low view numbers on the videos, whereas the ones that are more for bossing type units, they'll have really high views on the videos, because these trials are absolutely brutal when you're trying to use a unit that is not built for that type of stage. Prime example, Ken. Ken is an absolute passenger in this trial, right? He's an absolute passenger in this trial. If I go to like this stage here, for example, pretty sure this is the stage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the stage. I can do this, I believe. Put you there. And if I go with this, hopefully it's okay. I can do this, so you can see there that Ken is just not there. Ken is not a part of this combo. I don't want Ken anywhere near this combo, because Ken being in that combo would actually make this a harder stage, right? So in a lot of these stages, people have found that simply not using the character. Now this is the character who you are trying to show off, the character who you are trying to promote, who you're trying to sell. You're putting them into a situation where they're useless. They are pretty much completely redundant and pointless to the exercise. So you're not actually trialing the character. And then what ends up happening is people think, oh, that character's trash. I don't want that character. He's not any good, right? Which, let's be real here, for some people that's actually good, because then FOMO doesn't creep in and you don't feel like you've missed out, right? So in that regard, it's quite good for people like that, right? However, what ends up happening is something along the lines of Flame Chun-Li. Flame Chun-Li was exceptional. She was terrible in her trial, but out with her trial, where she should be used, she's absolutely fantastic. And by the time that really started to permeate and get out there amongst the community, it was too late. She was gone, right? And now she's come back. Hey, but you need to pay more for her, right? Now that may be a one-time thing. Like, for all I know, anytime units come back, they'll be the same price. Maybe they're just standardising the price to make it $50. I don't know, right? But if you pass up on a unit based on its trial, then that means the trial has not done its job. And right now the trial is not doing its job. So my suggestion to the developers is actually pretty damn simple, right? It's pretty damn simple. What you do is, instead of having just this one standard trial realm, just because it's always the same, right? Instead of having this one standard trial realm, rather than these 5 little huts, or 6 little huts, or how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6. Instead of having these 6 little huts or whatever, you have the same amount of rewards. Very simply, you have the same amount of rewards, and you use 1 unit on each of these huts, and you do a boss fight. You simply do a boss fight. So you would still have to use the unit with different teams, that's fine. You still have that whole experimental thing of needing to have a unit with teams, but the boss would have a set amount of energy, and it'd be a boss that you would kill, not a boss that you would score on, a boss that you would kill. This would allow people to try the unit out in a situation where the unit is designed to shine. And it's very simple. All you do is you have Trial Realm, which is your standard trial, and then you have Boss Trial Realm. That is it. Okay? 90% of the time, not all the time, but 90% of the time, if the unit is a single target unit, it would be put into the Boss Trial Realm to do the trial. If the unit has multiple AoEs, support, things like that, then put them into the Standard Trial Realm. A support unit would work in the Boss Trial Realm, however, because it's a support unit, it can work in both. Just put it into the Standard Trial Realm, absolutely fine, no issues there whatsoever. But people disagree with me on this, but I actually think what I'm saying is more or less right. Trendy Cammy was another one. I don't think she looked fantastic in her trial. She looked okay, but she didn't look fantastic. When it came to bossing, Trendy Cammy, oh wait, people sat up. She looks really good. She's very, very good unit. Units where they're not going to perform. They're not. Don't put them in this. Do the second trial mode, which would be boss trial. It would allow people to get a really good snapshot of what the unit is like. Then they can make an informed decision of if they want to buy it or not. Now, it's actually good for me that you don't do this, Topjoy, because it means that people rely on people like me, Payne, Pika, to break down a unit and tell them if a unit is good or not, right? So I really should not fight for this, because I am literally getting views because you do not do a good job of showing people how their units are. But I would rather have a better game that allows people the tools to make decisions for themselves than people to simply rely on my opinion, Pika's opinion, Payne's opinion to tell them whether they need a unit or not. If they had a good trial, they would know themselves, right? They would know themselves if the unit is good, worth their money, worth their time, worth their investment. And it's very simple for you to do. Now, I know that as developers, you guys don't want to just hand out the trial the way you did with Ken, where people could try the unit in all content, which would be ideal, right? It would be ideal, but you're not going to do that, right? You're going to keep doing the trial realm, which is fine, because if it wasn't for the trial realm, we wouldn't have those divination tickets or special tickets or purple stones. We would lose them if you gave us a 3-day trial of the unit, right? So got to balance the trade-off here. In some ways, I'd rather have those extra resources, right? So if you're going to continue to do it this way, that's fine. Just do what I've said. I mean, it's very easy. It benefits you as a company. It benefits the players as players, because we get to see the unit in a good situation, and you are actually shining a good light on the unit that you're trying to sell, instead of what you've done here. Ken is the worst. So far, Ken is definitely the worst. You've made the unit look absolutely trashed here in your own trial, and it makes no sense to do that. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever for you to do that. So again, my suggestion to you guys is make this, when you've got a unit like Ken, a unit like Flame Chun-Li, you probably won't do it as often, right? But put them into a trial that is focused on bosses rather than stages, so that people can get a really good idea of, one, what the unit's for, because if they go in to do the trial and it's a boss trial, they know straight away, right, that's a boss unit. If they go in and they do normal stages, it's like it's either every kind of content unit, or it is specifically a PvP or stages type content unit. You are making things clearer to players, you are causing less confusion, and you're making players less likely to basically dump on a new character simply based on the trial, which is understandable. So the two things that I suggest you do is you make these trial modes linear so that everyone has the same experience and it's not gauged by other things outside the trial, like your fighting heart. And on top of that, you take the format and you make it broken up into two different types, the bossing type and the standard type, and then that way units can actually shine rather than constantly be viewed as trash until someone in the community actually highlights just how good they are, and then that slowly spreads out amongst the players. Because the issue you've got is, like, people love to tell us as content creators, we as content creators only reach the smallest part of the community. So that small part of the community, those are the ones that find out the likes of Flame, Chun-Li, Fashion, Ken is actually a decent unit. The other 80% of players, they don't know. They try the trial and they think, oh, he's trash, I'm not touching that. So you are doing your own game a disservice by not doing this. So that's my suggestion. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys agree and you would like to see these changes. I've been Hayzink. Thank you very much for watching. Drop your comments, like the video, do all that good stuff for YouTube's purposes, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.